Hi, I'm Allison.
Hi, I'm Justin.
And you're listening to the Otterly Owlsome podcast. Who knows what we'll talk about?
She might have Teams me. Let's see. Yeah, my Teams. I have a Mac. I work on a Mac.
I do too. So
I can't get the Teams notifications to hit my notifications stuff. So I have to watch that little icon.
Yep.
She just said,
fun. I
right
watch
there.
them.
But the reason I started talking about Tomorrowland EDM was because it's almost been a year now. I bought a license to what's the name of the software? Ableton.
Oh,
Ableton
yeah.
Live.
Yeah.
In the hopes that I was going to be able to like start making my own tracks, because that's really what I'd love to do, is be able to make my own music that has the elements that I like, because I feel like when I listen to the EDM, there's certain parts of it that I appreciate, but they're never as long as I want them, if that makes sense. Like, they cut to a different part of the song, or they try to use that traditional format of I don't even know what it is, but kind of like the chorus and then this and then the chorus and then the format. Yeah. I'm like, no, I want more of the chorus. You know what I mean? So I want to be able to restructure.
The best thing is like a lot of live mixes and stuff too. I mean, they're so fast going through so many songs that you'll go like a minute through. I know you guys talked about it on the podcast, but the Champagne Pandas, like yes. when that happened, like that dude was flying through songs, and it was like, what's up, slacker?
Allison, we're already recording, and I've been asking questions, and yeah.
Awesome. Jake and I now live like 2 hours from each other and haven't seen each other. We saw each other more when we lived multiple states away.
Is it? I get. Oh yeah, forget. You're not at the beach. In my head, you're just at the beach. That's it.
I mean, I am all the time.
I was like, man,
I'm going this weekend.
I say it's not 2 hours, Alice. I know you're new to the state and all, but yeah, you're right.
From Aiken.
Yeah.
Allison, Jake has a fantastic microphone.
I know. He looks all professional.
His voice, the audio is awesome.
The looks are to deceive how dumb I actually am.
What is it? You got a face for radio?
No, I got a face and a brain for radio. So
I disagree. I think you look great on camera and you sound great.
Yes. Allison, you're fired. This is my new best friend.
First of all, that upsets me.
I have been begging her for a co-host when she's not there, and she won't. She was always like, no, we can change the recording date.
Well, I needed you to meet Jake first to make sure you didn't hate him.
So I do a podcast about movies. It's not mine. It's a friend's podcast, but I co-host with him. And he was out of town on vacation 2 weeks ago, and I hosted it with a friend of mine. It went so far off the rails. I was like, Preston, what'd you think about this? And he's like, you killed the intro. Not in a good way. It was really bad. And I tried to do it like 8 times and kept laughing, and finally went, screw it, we're starting. So watch what you ask for. That's all I got to say.
All of ours go off the rails, and we just we publish that. We don't.
Yeah.
My edits consist of removing our job names and people's names from the transcript.
In that case, let me go ahead and start dropping some names just to make your life hard.
Oh God.
No, I'm just kidding.
She did that to me a couple episodes ago, and it was like, she says that name one more time.
He's like editing, like, I'm gonna kill her later.
Actually, I think it was the one where she brought up you and showed you.
I was about to say, I was like, ooh, I know there's a clip right there. There's a clip right there. I know what she said. Like, good job. Somebody caught that. Perfect.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Champagne Pandas.
Oh, man. Ooh, man, that was the worst knowledge. Best worst. I've never had to work not like work a booth, but actually work. Like, while your customers legitimately 10 feet away from you sends you an email that says, I need you to do this now. And you kind of look over and you're like, what? We're in the same lab together.
And they're like,
you got this?
That is not cool.
Yeah, it was great. That was. I just remember seeing Allison in the Owlsome point. She's like, how are you enjoying it? And I went, I've been working on this the whole day. And she was like, have you been drinking? I was like, yes, I have.
I was passing out liquid B12.
Oh my gosh!
I forgot you had the dropper of B12.
Don't they have like IV bags in Vegas now too, where you can rehydrate?
Oh yeah,
Probably now, but this was like 2019.
sounds right.
That's kind of recent, yeah. Within the past 4 years.
The last knowledge before.
But if you take liquid B12 after you've been drinking, you wake up feeling okay.
Oh yeah, I never went to sleep. I think I slept for 4 days. That was awful. No.
Well, the part that got me about that episode was the person. I'm trying not to have a bunch of stuff to bleep again. The person asking for the explicit stuff that you needed to go find. I was just like, what? Really?
So what you didn't talk about, my former mentor, whose name I won't say, was the sales guy. And he was, I met him on this trip and he was insane. Like salespeople are always, they're great. They're a little different. But we were in a bar and he goes, "Hey man, you have a credit card?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, like, "Mine just tapped out." And I'm like, "What's your limit?" And he goes, 30,000. And I went, he was like, "No, I've been here for 2 weeks. It's max." He said, "Can you cover the bill?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And then I got the bill and it's like $4,000.
Oh my God.
All right. And I'm like, "How do I expense this?" And he goes, "Hold on. Hey, he's going to expense this to you." And I look, his boss is just sitting at the edge and she's like, "Got it." I was like, what is this world? I want to be this guy. But then he was fired very quickly after that.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
I work closely with those guys, and they do expense everything. But I don't know that I want to be in that world either.
No.
I am taking a customer to lunch on Monday.
Ooh. You better eat
in
it.
Aiken? In Aiken?
In Myrtle Beach.
Oh, that's right. You told me that.
Mm-hmm.
You should
Jake,
take
you gotta go to Myrtle Beach.
paragliding. I need to go. Well, I don't know.
Logan would totally
I'm a
go.
northern South Carolina personnel, and I'm like, yeah, Myrtle Beach is.
Northern South Carolina. That's the first I've heard that.
I'm a mountain boy. That sounds
He lives
weird.
in Clemson.
He's closer to me than you are.
Yeah,
I know.
I'll be up there in next month. There's a band called American Football that I'm gonna go see. They're playing at the Orange Peel, so I'm pretty.
At the Orange Peel? Okay.
Yeah.
His dog is drinking like they haven't had water in years.
She just got treats. Well, you didn't see it behind me, and so now she's hydrating after eating salty treats, I guess.
Well, out of habit, I heard that noise and looked down and went, "Oh, that's not me. I'm safe."
Yeah, Rory's eating something. I don't know what it is.
What kind of dog do you have, Jake?
I have 2 chocolate labs, and they're a mess.
They're adorable.
Oh, they're monsters. They're 5 and 4, and they're never gonna quit being puppies, I think. So,
I follow them on Instagram.
They have their own Instagram.
yeah, my wife made it. I'm supposed to keep up with it. I'm terrible at it. She's like, "You should post a picture." I'm like, "Nah, good. I'll just keep this one."
I almost sent Allison this morning. There was her spirit animal is an otter, sea otter. We got to talk about that or whatever. But it was the otter picking up cones out of the water and putting them there for people.
I've seen it.
It was so cute.
I've seen it and it's awesome.
So, Jake, what is your spirit animal?
Oh, I'm gonna say a Peregrine Falcon.
That's the second one.
That's very specific.
Yeah.
This was a very specific.
Yeah, that's the fastest animal in the world because my mouth moves way faster than my brain. So I'm going there.
That's what Herb was. He was he was an eagle, I guess.
He was an eagle.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. So we've had
What
2
was Connor? Did we ask him?
dolphin.
Dolphin. That's right.
So
Yeah.
Peregrine Falcon is the one that they train. They put the little hoodie over its eyeballs and then.
Yep.
Okay.
Is that the one that looked like the plane in the army or the military?
No, that's It's gonna come to
I'm
me
glad
right
you knew
now.
what I was talking about.
Yeah, it might be, but I should know this.
I'm Googling it.
My original desire in life was to be a person that studies birds of prey. And then I figured out, oh yeah, there's no money in that. And there is probably no career in that. I'm going to do something else. let's do IT and be miserable.
Well, there's music and then IT, because we were talking about music before Allison got on.
Yeah.
So what is your role now? You are what?
So I work at I'm a senior program manager, which is pretty much a combination of architect, project management, probably the two of those together in the end.
Okay. So your role, can you say it one more time? Program manager is two things you said?
Yeah, it's pretty much business and technical architect.
Business and technical. Okay.
But mixed with project management.
Okay.
So my role is, we have what's called a dev shop, which is essentially managed services. And so I'm on a 3-man team that does managed services for one large company.
Okay.
So it's kind of nice because I pretty much work for this company 5 days a week. It keeps your brain straight. So it's good.
And ServiceNow is the work that you're doing, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Any particular applications that
Everything.
you work in or prefer to work in?
I like App Engine a lot. Well, I'm not working in it, but I love App Engine. So, fun fact, I launched the very first App Engine on App Engine Studio in the world. I have that title.
Whoa.
Which, if you see the app, it's hilarious. It's a table and a form. But I launched it, and ServiceNow called me, and we're like, how'd you do this? Because pipelines don't work. And I was like, oh, yeah, I got around it. So I was on a discussion committee with them for a while. It was great. It's fantastic. But for them, it's a lot of ITSM, HRSD, CSM, which is actually pretty interesting. There's a lot of interesting CSM stuff they do. And then trying to move back into ITOM a little bit. But ITOM's so hard when you don't have a staff to support it. You can set it up and then it just crashes right after. So kind of a pain.
It's care and feeding, yeah.
Yeah.
I was Jake's very first architect he had to deal with.
I didn't know ServiceNow until I met Allison, to be honest.
Ooh.
Yeah. I was a SharePoint.
And he was my first customer at a previous partner.
And for some reason, I quit that job to go work with Allison, and I don't know why still.
Because I was having so much fun.
He's trying to do the same thing again, apparently.
Oh, it's dangerous. I'll just drink my fake sparkling water that's just filled with tap water, and that's it.
You look fancy, so yeah, there you go.
Again, long as you look at him.
So, Allison, you were his architect, meaning he was a technical consultant or equivalent?
He was a customer.
Oh, okay.
My third day at a new partner, that shall remain nameless, was like, hey, we need you to do a workshop for this customer. And I was like, great, where's the workshop materials? They're like, we don't have any.
Oh, this is that story. Okay.
Yeah, great. So Jake didn't know I was a great faker.
Yeah. So the opposite side of that, 2 days before that, they said, hey, Jake, you're going to be in charge of this thing called ServiceNow at this point. And I said, well, I guess I'm going to quit because I'm not learning anything new. You can go eat it. Well, I didn't.
Yeah.
Clearly, I didn't quit yet. So, yeah.
That was in 2017?
Yeah. That sounds right.
Yeah.
So your natural instinct was you did not want to learn something new?
Well, I had the role I had at that company. I was in charge of 7 systems, and it was like I can't take on one more thing because everything else is going to fail. So,
what was nice is that was pre-COVID. So I spent a lot of time in Anderson, South Carolina.
And you never want to come back.
Yeah. Ton of time there.
Yeah.
I was there a lot.
But when I moved to the partner, I don't even know what my role was. I guess I was a developer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you moved up to TA.
They never actually changed my title or paid me more, but I did.
That's a topic for another day.
So I'm trying to follow the path here. So you got customer to Allison pulls you along to a partner, and you start learning ServiceNow and everything, and somehow that brings you to deploying the first app. In App Engine Studio?
Yeah. So I did a lot of C# my whole life, and I knew JavaScript. So it was like, yeah, all right, it's natural. Like, there's nothing foreign here. So I was at that partner, and I left. I quit and took my old job back because they couldn't find someone that could do 7 different stuff. So
yeah.
I was like, forget this. Like, I'm consulting. I'm miserable. My old job's there. I'll just go back. It was nice to kind of work with what I knew. I don't know. But so while I was there, I had a really, really great account executive from ServiceNow who I think it helped him out, but he changed our licensing to get us App Engine for free. Someone in the company, almost said the name, caught it. See, I'm saving you. Had stupidly bought a license they didn't need. They weren't using it, but they were still getting billed for it. I mean, you know, why are you going to take it away?
Right.
So we got App Engine, and I jokingly logged into a personal instance and saw it and went, what's this App Engine bullcrap? And clicked it and went, oh, this is great. And it just so happened that someone needed to have this custom baked process. And I'm like, yeah, well, you're not going to do it in Excel. We're going to do this. And so we did. So it panned out, which was really creepy. Of my account executive was like, what did you do? And I was like, I published this thing. And he was like, yeah, well, it ticked up. And you're the only one that ticked up. So what'd you do? And then, yeah, it was just fun. That's
so when you say you published it to production.
Yeah.
Right?
Just
not to the App Store, right?
No, not to the App Store.
Yeah. I get a lot of questions on my channel about, because I'm a big App Engine fan too, and everybody's always like, I can't promote this to the App Store. What's wrong? I'm like, well, that's not how your PDI works.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you found a workaround in your PDI.
Oh, no, sorry. I actually installed parts of it in our instance. Okay. But their whole pipeline stuff didn't work. Like, you couldn't go between your instances with your App Engine stuff.
Not like you can now.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. It's definitely gotten better. So yeah, that was fun. I was like, man, I might get to go to Knowledge with this. This is going to be great. And
free ticket.
My contact there was like, yeah, you know, you might be able to speak on this. I'm like, yes. And then I quit my job. And I was no longer a part of that board or anything else because I was a partner again. So sad days.
Can you? Sorry, Allison. I'm App Engine Studio fan. Can you share without sharing too much about what that initial process was that was going to be in a spreadsheet? Because I'd love for people to hear like an example of something that you could do with App Engine Studio that didn't have to be in a spreadsheet. Yeah.
So the like stakeholder for this was continuous improvement, but not like the ServiceNow continuous improvement. Like it's not you get a record, we're going to improve with that artifact. It's flat out, hey, our warehousing has, you know, badly aligned forklift systems or anything like that. So we need a way to track what are our improvement tasks we're going to do this, but then how much money we think we can save. So that app in the end was just a portal with some logic built in the back too of doing some of these calculations and understanding how much percentage of return would you get by implementing this continuous improvement. I'm sure some of it was funny money, but I think in the end it's like $18 to $20 million of continuous improvement went through it in the first like 5 months.
Wow.
So it was pretty sweet to watch, like, oh, someone's using it. But that was it in the end.
That should have paid for your job upgrade right there.
Yeah, you would think, but yeah. Saving you on editing.
Yes. Let the curse words fly, Jake.
Oh no, man. It would be that plus hard names, but it was for a company that didn't understand. They're getting better with technology. How about that? Yeah.
I know what the subtext. If I can try, the subtext is there's certain companies that expect you to work magic, but not invest any money in it. And that's why you get stuck with working on 7 systems instead of being able to dedicate yourself to one, because they don't understand the investment. Allison and I were talking about this with ServiceNow. It's like they buy it, but they don't understand that it's an investment.
Yeah, and that's like right now my role, not necessarily this customer, but you know, doing predominantly kind of a managed service thing, people still don't understand. Like, you still need an owner. You still need someone there that's invested. They're willing to talk to your business and kind of push the needle. Because if not, it's just going to be a stagnant money pool in the end. You know, it's going to be running. You're going to be operational. It's going to work, but you're not going to grow. Nothing's going to change.
And there's no governance of it. Yeah. So anything anyone wants gets shoved in there instead of actually being evaluated.
Ooh, yeah, and that's a big turd. That's a massive flopping turd in the end. Yeah. I hate doing those cleanups of the gut everything out and just. And I hate
those are actually my favorite. I'm like, let's just start it.
I love starting over, but I hate telling the person that's like, I've worked so hard on this for years, and I'm like,
oh no, I love it.
You should have done this in a month. And you did it all wrong in years, so I'm sorry. We're gonna have to. Yeah,
that's a tough combo. Actually, Allison, I think I have a couple of those in your pipeline coming at you. Yeah, one customer, Jake, they're a vulnerability management shop, and they just let it sit there for like 5 years after the company we work for implemented it. Let it sit for 5 years. It grew and grew and grew. You know, collected all these vulnerabilities, and then they're like, now we want to start using it. Come help us clean it up. It's like, oh, wait, you haven't used it in 5 years. So yeah, Allison, that's coming your way at some point.
Nice.
That vulnerability, and then was that them using actual VR, or was that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That and CMDB both. That's my favorite of. We've had it running for like 3 years. It's fantastic. We're going to use it today. And then, especially CMDB, it's like, hey, I put in a change, but it didn't flag that this service is affected. What's going on? Like, yeah, it's not going to magically build those relationships. But you may have let it run for 3 years, but it doesn't know. So
hey, ServiceNow told them it was magic.
Yep, that's how they sell it.
Yeah.
All you got to do is turn it on.
We got this.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We've got this new thing called service graphing. It's magic. Just flip the plug in. You'll love it.
Yeah. You don't even have to put in an endpoint. Just turn it on. It'll know.
You don't need professional services. It'll just do it. Does itself. Yeah.
And if you do, it's 0.25% of your license cost.
I will tell you this, not to rag too hard, but I'm still blown away by Discovery sometimes. And this is really nerdy, but every time I do it, I go to a Microsoft SQL server and I go and look at the actual tables inside of it. And I'm like, man, this thing's great. I mean, I know it's a simple script, but a lot of DB admins, I'm like, yeah, you're doing a change on that table. You can go call it. And it's just like, this is the best day of someone's life.
Wait. Can you back up a little bit? Yeah. You just went right over my head.
So Discovery, when it scans, if it detects like a Microsoft SQL server and it's got credentials and access, it'll read the database and it'll actually pull out specific databases inside there. So like if you have like a customer table on some custom database, it'll list out the tables inside of it.
Wow.
So if you're doing changes, not this customer, another friend that I'm helping is doing a change and they're adding in new columns. So they're able to directly say, hey, this is the table, this is the database that we're affected with this. So some of that stuff, yeah, it is kind of point click and it goes because no one had to do that.
Yeah. So in theory, though,
you gotta have credentials, though.
It's credentials. You have to be able to credentials, and you can validate a change from what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I was shocked when Allison helped us set up Discovery. The first time I saw it, I started clicking around, and it's like, oh, this is scary. How much information's here, but in a good way, I guess.
I have been, Allison knows this, I've been trying to set up Discovery in my office, and right now I'm still stuck in my container. I can't get out of my container, and basically I need a network engineer in my office to help me navigate.
Jake's your guy.
What's that?
Jake's your guy.
You're a network guy?
I can I can do some stuff with networks.
I've got a Ubiquity router.
My word.
You can do it.
I've got the router set up, and somehow it's firewalled my office from everything. So
you probably have to open up a port, and that's it. In the end,
that's it.
That's all. Just Oh, there's a switch over here. Let me try this.
How do you like that wonderful consultant speech there? Of just like, I'm not the network guy. You just probably have to open up a port. It's nothing big. Should be like 2 points. You're good. Go for it.
My favorite is, well, it depends. What kind of router is it? You know, the stalling while I'm Googling on the side. Is it a Netgear?
The Netgear. The corporate network? Oh, God.
Oh.
You laugh. I used to work in oil and gas, and some of our like super remote locations used Netgear routers.
With the default admin password, probably. Yeah, nice.
And they were on satellite, so it was just a really great connection.
Oh, God. I'm not...
I mean, these were places in the middle of, like, nowhere, Texas.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure there's only satellites the option then, right?
Like Harlingen, Texas.
Never. Yeah, Harlan sounds familiar.
Harlingen is down right by the border, and when you fly in... So I flew in, and it was late. You have to pass through border control, and they check your car. And they were like, ma'am, is there anyone in the trunk? I was like, I hope not. I just picked this car up from the airport. And they were like, what? I was like, I didn't. I just tossed my bag in the back seat. I hope there's no bag there. The guy just started laughing. I was like, well, I'll check for you. I was like, okay.
What a strange question. Like,
like, who's going to be like, oh, you caught me. Yep.
Jake, do you have a hard stop?
No, I like 11 o'clock, so I've got time.
Okay. Allison said she didn't have one. Is that still true, Allison? Okay.
I don't have anything.
Okay.
I'm not going to our dev lounge. So.
Dev lounge, yeah. But they're doing some kind of... Well, yeah, okay, never mind. I don't want to bleep all that.
They're doing enablement today. Yeah. I've already been enabled because I helped write it. So.
You're an enabler.
I am. It's people I like.
I was trying to say that with a negative spin jokingly, but I'm going to go with it was a compliment instead.
It was. I knew I was spinning it for you.
Perfect.
Speaking of enablement, Jake, do you want to share the name of your podcast, the movie podcast?
You know what? Let me verify this, because I've also said the wrong thing about 1,000,000 times.
That's awesome.
I'm pretty sure it's Second Take Movies. I always say Second Take Cinema. But it's Second Take Movies. So the whole premise is we're trying to watch movies that probably deserve a second look. So, like, I don't know if you've ever seen Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow from... You shouldn't see it. It's awful. I love it.
But you gave it a second look.
Yeah. So that's the premise. But in the end, it's kind of like, all right, we're just going to watch something good every now and then. But...
Justin has a whole spreadsheet of movies.
I do.
I
have a whole spreadsheet.
I'll go ahead and tell you my brain's fried too, because I saw Oppenheimer last night. So
it's so good.
Yeah, it's really good. I cried, I think, 3 times.
I heard it's really emotional.
Did Logan tell you to suck it up?
No, she just sat there kind of deadpan. Justin, my wife has no emotion. She says this.
I love Logan. She's one of my favorites.
0 emotion. Not an insult. I mean, she'll happily tell anyone, but yeah, it's emotional, but not in a like it shouldn't make you cry.
What?
There's a lot of emotion, but it's not necessarily sad emotion.
Okay.
There we go.
It's him wrestling with his involvement in bringing about that technology, right?
Yeah, that, and then it's mixed. I'm not going to ruin it. I mean, it's already happened.
Is there a love story?
No, not even that. It's so Oppenheimer was very notorious, especially like scientists in that time, of socialist stuff. So it's him wrestling with that mixed with his own intellectual stuff. I won't say any more because I will ruin it if I go more. But it's good. Yeah. I love Chris Nolan. It's one of my favorite.
Yeah.
And it does not.
Cillian Murphy is fantastic too. So.
Yeah.
Oh, now I know how to say his name. I've seen it written. I didn't know how to say his name.
I'm going to just be really nerdy and tell you that my favorite physicist, this is how big of a nerd I am, is in that movie. When you watch it, there's a guy playing bongos. They don't say his name in the movie, but the bongo guy is Richard Feynman, and he's one of the most interesting people in the world. So,
yep, Feynman diagram.
He was on Big Bang, or at least references to him.
He, if you ever did punch cards, I think he helped create punch cards for IBM. Have you guys ever done that?
I've seen them. I've touched them with my hands.
I had to, in school, so I went to a tech school. So not even like a real big university. Our instructor, everyone failed the first like 3 weeks. And he was like, we're going back to basics, and pulled out punch cards. So we had to learn to program with punch cards first. I pity the world that had to do that. That was awful. But,
is it as bad as assembly? Because assembly was awful.
No, it's not as bad, but it's stupid. Of like, if you don't do a clean punch, it won't compile. It will not compile, but it won't run. So it's not that you did it wrong. It's you didn't make a clean mark.
Physical punch.
Yeah. So there's dumb things like that. But,
Florida voting ballots back in the 2000s.
The hanging chad.
Yeah.
I had a similar. I actually went to college to be a physics major, and that was my interest. Is still an interest of mine. And the first physics class I took, he was a foreign language. His main language was Russian, and so it was getting through his language barrier and the material. Everybody failed the first. Everybody, and I was like. And I'm working full time, and I'm like, I can't do this. I can't invest my money and my time and keep failing. I was like, so I switched to IT, computer systems, because of that one experience of failing the first physics class.
I think that's so normal, because like I wanted to do chemistry. I love physics, but I was like, I'm doing chemistry, and not to show off, I screwed this class because I made a 99. And it's on a curve, and the next grade was a 42.
Ooh.
So, I looked around, and I was like, oh, this kind of sucks. Like, this guy was intentionally hard. I was the nerd that read the textbook. But it's funny that one thing can just completely change paths. See, that's what happens when I think and then talk. It just doesn't come out right.
Well, to bring some levity, one of the other things Jake and I bonded over is his wife's love of The Bachelor. So we have group texts during Bachelor season.
You know what? I'm not a fan of The Bachelor anymore.
Me either. Chris Harrison left.
Justin, how do you feel about The Bachelor? Let's break into a segment I call the Bachelor Hotline. Could you tell us your thoughts?
Yeah.
I don't watch it. I don't watch either.
I will tell you, Bachelor in Paradise is the only one I really watch anymore.
So I watched that one season. Now you guys talked about it where we were on site, and after that, I didn't really care anymore. That was incredible. That's probably the most beautiful piece of thing.
You love JPJ,
my hero, John Paul Jones, right? That was a character in The Bachelor, and he was the most cartoonish person. Just eating chicken nuggets on the side, doing like.
The concept of this is there's a bunch of eligible bachelors, and a woman is picking one, right?
Yep.
Well, there's The Bachelor, which is the reverse, where it's a man choosing a woman.
Okay.
Then Bachelorette is a woman picking a man. And then Bachelor in Paradise is all the rejects. But it's like an equal amount of men and women. And as long as you are partnered up, you get to stay. That's why I think I like Bachelor in Paradise a little bit better. Is
more drama, probably.
Less meat markety, I guess.
I think the real premise of the show is a bunch of producers sit in a room and figure out how to produce just full torment on someone.
Did you watch Unreal on Lifetime?
No.
Okay, tell Logan because she'll like it. But it's about like a producer of a Bachelor type show. But it's all fiction, obviously.
Yeah.
But it was good.
I kind of want to be one of those producers for one season.
Right.
I don't know. No, I don't. I think you'd probably go to
Well, Logan texted me last week that there's a new one called The Golden Bachelor that's senior citizens.
I heard about that one. Yep.
Yeah. Won't be watching.
I would have gone with silver, but, that's just me.
Yeah. Have you seen the ads for A Farmer Takes a Wife, which is the farmer version of The Bachelor?
Whoa! That's called kidnapping, right?
Takes a wife.
No, like, it's the same premise, but it's farmers.
Taking somebody else's wife?
Okay. No, like, they're wanting to find love.
Justin, stop talking. Let's talk on the side. This is a great idea. You and I'll talk later. We're selling this. I know a couple people. We'll sell this idea.
Oh, I actually have a really good reality show idea. I want them to send professional chefs like Gordon Ramsay, like come knock on my door and he has to make something out of whatever's in my kitchen.
Oh, that would be awesome, actually.
Because you have no idea what's going to be in there. And if Gordon Ramsay showed up at my door, I'd be like, please come in. No one's going to be like, no, you can't come in my kitchen.
Okay, Allison, Justin, later. Yeah, you're not invited. Allison, we'll talk later. We can run with this idea.
Right? It's a great idea. It would be hilarious because there are days where our kitchen has like a protein shake and some water, and then there are other days where it's stopped. So, yeah.
You know he's going to go through your freezer and find like a dead rat or something, and then yell at you.
No, I mean I once a month clean out my expiration dates, but I also have like organization containers. Like I'm one of those.
This is the part of reality shows. He's going to have a producer who's got a dead rat that he's going to slip into your refrigerator, and then that's what makes the whole show.
Because that makes it yucky and makes me seem like I'm filthy.
You donut! There's a rat!
He can't be a producer.
But if he has to look through, he's going to be like, why do you have 3 cheese rice-a-roni? I can't do anything with that.
That sounds delicious, actually.
Oh, it's so good. But Gordon Ramsay is probably going to be like, no.
Let me show you how to make some cheese and pick your own rice, and then, yeah.
Right. We'll go out to your dead cucumber plant. And
Jake, do you garden?
No, I don't. I grew up working on a farm, some small farm. My wife attempts to garden, but if I took a picture of our garden right now, it's just like giant weeds. There's nothing in it. So we grow weeds really well, but our soil's so bad that we can't do anything. Just clay. So
yeah, Allison had a green thumb for a month or two.
And then I went out of town and my plant died.
I don't know if that's you then.
But I have a new
that
sprout.
Could be somebody else could have done that.
I have a new sprout for cucumbers, and my peppers are still growing. So,
is Dexter still watering, or is that now your job?
No, when he waters, he just takes a cup and pours it in one place. So I let him do. So we have Citronella plants because they're natural mosquito repellents, and I prefer that over like having to spray myself down. So I let him water the Citronella plants, and I do the garden because he can just,
I never thought of having a Citronella.
Oh, yeah. So we have them. We're going to actually buy 2 more pots because we have like a gazebo outside. So we have 2 on each side. I'm going to get like 2 more pots.
Is that
because our patio is pretty big?
Do they overwinter, or do you have to protect them?
So where I live, they're fine because it doesn't get cold here. But I think during the winter, you're supposed to like pull them into your garage or something.
Okay.
But,
I'm gonna put that on my list because I get eaten alive every night.
Yeah.
And
so we have big pots, and there's like 4 in each pot.
That's cool.
But they smell like the Citronella spray. Yeah. And there's some others that do mosquitoes, but I've only ever used Citronella.
Okay. Good tip. I actually got something out of this recording.
There you go.
And Jake, yeah.
No. That's way bigger of a tip. Trust me.
Mosquitoes.
I've still got time to crash this.
Tell Logan about the Citronella plants because those you can't kill.
Yeah, that'd be rewarding. Oh, we got some flowers that stay alive and a couple of like plants. Just no garden stuff. So.
All right, Jake. If the weeds stay longer than a year, that doesn't make them plants. Just so you know.
I've named those weeds already, buddy. Marshall, Gerald, and Nathan are pretty sweet.
Jerome.
Yeah.
Turn my mug this way. Just to make a hard left turn, you talked about Oppenheimer, and there's another big movie coming out this weekend.
Oh, I'm gonna go Saturday, bud. You got to have that Barbie Oppenheimer sandwich. If you don't do both, you're not living.
So you're going, Allison? Are you going?
I am going to a girls' weekend in Myrtle Beach with my best friend that lives in Boston. And we have not had a girls' trip since COVID, so it's our first one.
Sounds like you guys should go see Barbie.
That's sounds like it.
My bootay will be on the beach in a chair with a beverage. Not moving.
Allison,
we might go to dinner.
You're done. Sorry. Wrong answer.
We are going to do brunch because I am a sucker for brunch. I love brunch.
Brunch is good. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand brunch. I'm not going to lie.
I just want the mimosas. I have my own carafe and I pre-mix them and yeah.
You bring that to the restaurant?
No, I meant like
I was gonna ask. I was like, "Whoa, power move!" Nice.
Like, wow.
I'm like, I brought my own. I'm not paying $16 for a carafe of mimosa.
I brought my own mix of OJ and Andre. Please do not bring your garbage.
Very Barbie move. Yeah.
I've got 3 droppers worth of orange juice in here just to make it colored. So.
I really wish I saw Barbie last night after Oppenheimer, but it was like 11 o'clock maybe. So that's not going to happen.
I was already asleep.
Yeah, it was.
I'm probably not going to see it, honestly. But Oppenheimer, yes. Barbie, no.
I'll see it when it comes out for free.
I'm debating. I'm sure I will, but...
I don't even know the last movie I saw in a theater.
Interstellar for me.
I was telling David, like, we've never gone to a movie together. Ever.
Hey, Allison, I don't know if you know this or not, but there's this hit movie called Barbie coming out, and I'm pretty sure he'd love it.
Are you kidding me?
He would love it.
I haven't heard a thing about it.
Yeah,
you think David would like it? Is that what you're saying, Jake?
Yeah, he loves Ryan Gosling.
No. They interviewed Margot Robbie and American Ferrera on CNN this morning, and I didn't play with Barbies as a kid. Like, I was very tomboyish. I played in the creek. I played sports. We had forts in the woods. And
my sister had them, and I just took all their clothes off looking for body parts that I couldn't find. So
I had some because my mom tried. She tried her darndest to make me girly, and I refused to wear dresses or any of that. Look at me now. I like wearing dresses. It's hot.
In South Carolina.
It was hot in Oklahoma.
That's right. I saw Brian's temperature gauge a couple weeks ago. I was like, holy crap, 104 or something.
Yeah. It's not as humid there as it is here, but it's hot. Like it's. I remember one year I worked at a casino, and they had a promotion that if it reached 100 degrees before noon, you got $10 free play.
Jeez.
And it lasted for 14 days because we hit 100 degrees before noon for 2 weeks.
So were you the Champagne Panda, or did you have another role at that casino?
I worked at an Indian casino in Oklahoma in their knock.
Okay, so technically.
Lies. She was the Champagne Panda of that place.
I was. Hey, I got to meet briefly. I was taking the trash out to put it in the hall one night, and the Bellamy brothers were walking by. And they were like, why is a pretty little thing like you taking out trash? I'm like, that's a great question. Maybe you should ask my boss. And I got to see the B-52s.
I'm Googling the Bellamy brothers. I plead.
They're a country band from years ago.
Okay.
But B-52s, I was working the day of the concert, so I just would go down and like accidentally end up in the concert area. And so I watched a little bit of it.
Just doing a network check, making sure everything's working.
Yeah, and Billy Squire, I saw him. He's apparently an excellent tipper.
B-52s, that's Love Shack, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Rock Lobster.
Oh, okay. We're good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But Billy Squire was the best tipper from what I heard. Tanya Tucker had the craziest writer, like her demands or whatever.
Oh, like the demands of like, I need Skittles and purple Skittles.
Only green Skittles or whatever, but hers was alcohol related.
Mm.
I don't know if this was recording, but just to really loop things around, Justin, I was telling you, I played a festival once.
Yes.
I had the opportunity to have a rider, and it was like, can I have 12 waters? That was my rider. Like, I might get really tired. It's a 2-hour set, and it's really hot. The person, I had a room, which is like a closet, but the person beside me, I can't remember who it was, but they were it was a girl that sings and a famous DJ were collabing.
That narrows it down.
Their rider, I saw it, and it legitimately was M&M's only blue.
Mhm.
And then stuff like that. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. And I asked someone that was catering to them, 'cause they shared us and me and them.
Yeah.
Me and them and I, whatever. And I was like, is this normal? And they're like, yeah. They just put the most absurd stuff to see if it happens. And I'm like, there's expensive stuff on here. Like, you have to go get this. And the girl was just like, it's my job, but they tip. And then I started sweating like, I don't have any cash. I'm not tipping you for water.
All I asked for was 12 water.
Yeah, that was an eye-opener of...
That's a lot of water, actually.
I think I used 2. I'm a diva.
For 2 hours.
Yeah.
Did you take the 10 home? Like, the 10 extra?
I was going to, but I was like, am I allowed to do this? And I'm just weirded out. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I was also 20, and it was a 21 and up festival.
Mm.
So no one asked me my age, and I didn't want to tell them. So everything was weird. Just like, I got to get in and get out of this before someone catches me. But yeah, those are fun.
That's awesome. 2-hour set. What year was this?
Let me pull up. Actually, I was 20.
How old are you?
I know this.
Yeah.
2010.
2010. Okay. Yeah. That's
Trying to remember how old you were.
Oh, because you were 20. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was trying to remember how old he is now, and then subtract.
I have it easy. I was born in 90, so I just can whatever the last digit is, that's one number. Yeah, I told you.
I was 85.
I have plenty of
so
time to be a moron,
me.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
90 was a good year. One of my brothers was born in 1990. I was 82. You were 85, Allison?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we're relatively around the same time.
You guys got to live in the 80s.
We
That's
did.
the
I had a
dream.
lot of track suits, wind suits. Wind didn't stand a chance in our house.
I had a Velcro
Starter
wallet.
jackets.
I still have a
I think
Velcro
starter
wallet. You
jackets
wanna
were
see it?
90s, though.
You still got one?
I'm just kidding.
What did you call that jacket? Spider jacket?
A starter jacket.
Starter jacket. Oh, starter. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
get that day glow.
I had a Dallas Cowboys starter jacket.
The Cowboys were big back then.
Yeah, my brother was a Cowboys fan, or still is. So I had a Cowboys one.
I thought that was going to stop with my brother's a cowboy. I don't know why. And I'm
No.
like, man, that was really random, Allison, but that's awesome.
He could be a
He is not
cowboy.
a cowboy.
He could be one, though.
He's not going to be out in the sun herding horses.
Oh, I meant just like on a stage, kind of like,
Oh, yeah, he
standing
could
there.
pretend to be a
Yeah.
cowboy. Yeah.
This is a really, really weird transition, but I don't do country at all, really. I mean, I can tolerate it. My wife Logan was like, I was talking to her and she's like, 90s countries was the best. So I found this playlist of 90s country music videos. It is the most insane thing I've ever watched, and I'm addicted to just how ridiculous this stuff is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like someone made a joke YouTube now. But then it was real. Let me find.
Is Shania Twain on the list?
I think somewhere on there. I can't remember. Garth. Oh,
Shania.
Joe Diffie. There's a song called "Pickup Man," and there's a guy named Aaron Tippin. See, that's how I am, Justin. I'm like, I don't know who these people are. Who is this Yahoo?
I do.
I probably heard them, but I don't know them.
Like Logan's singing the song, and I'm just going, whoa, this is some weird stuff. This is a weird that I wasn't prepared for.
The lyrics or the style is the weird.
Yes.
The lyrics are nuts in 90s
The
country
lyrics,
songs.
the video. Oh, God. Yeah, it is.
Has she heard the new song that's like a play on Jody Messina's song, Heads Carolina?
Yeah, we listened to it
I
in the
love
car
that
together
song.
because stupid me, I'm like, did this guy just steal this song? Isn't this already a song? And then she had to explain it. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
all right.
I loved Jody Messina when I was a kid.
Let's ditch this country stuff. Justin, who's your favorite IDM person? EDM, I guess.
Oh, my favorite?
Yeah.
I'd say like I will drop everything and listen to a new song Above and Beyond if they release anything. They're out of the UK and they're a duo or is it a trio? I think it's a trio, and they're musicians first, so they compose all of their songs and then turn it into EDM.
Got it.
So it's really good stuff. But after that, like, it's wide open. I will listen to pretty much anything. I have a playlist of 1,200 things I'm still listening to just to catch up.
Why are you doing this podcast, man? You got to start listening.
Well, as soon as we get done. Well, actually, I won't. I got a meeting as soon as we get done. But I play them in the background and listen. And Tomorrowland Winter is what I'm catching up on. That's how far behind I am. So I'm listening to all the sets from that. Just finished Mandy.
I don't even know what y'all are talking about.
I'll go hard EDM sometimes, but I love Madeon and Porter Robinson. It's not necessarily like, I don't think they do Tomorrowland. They're more weird electron. I don't even know. I don't know how to describe them, but same thing. They'll make their own stuff.
Okay.
I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm cool with this. Allison, what's your favorite club banger? Let's hear it.
I don't go to clubs.
Well, you know what?
And back when I went out, we would go to the country bar.
Champagne Panda, I know what song got everybody at our table going great.
Was it Sex or Cake by the Ocean? That was a big hit that year.
It was not. It was From the Windows to the Walls.
Oh.
Yeah. Which
the lyrics on that one, yeah.
Yeah. Not edited, by the way. Yeah. I mean, you know, it was like,
uncomfortable around work people with that song playing.
Well, what was really weird is the passed out customer in front of me that's like drooling from whatever drugs they took woke up like a zombie and we just got into it. And it's like,
yeah.
Whoa. Okay. Y'all need to go.
Yeah. I mean, when you say coworkers, it was me and Jake, David, my former boss, and then the sales guy, I'm convinced was narcoleptic.
Yeah, that's my hero. He was narcoleptic.
Yeah.
Because I was with him, and he just, boom, right asleep. He apparently did not drink, did not do drugs. Mm-mm. But he's narcoleptic, so he really seems off all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I was amazed.
Super nice guy, but weird.
And can run up 30 grand. At a bar.
Oh, that's insane. I would just,
yeah, that was.
I don't think any of my credit cards have that much of a limit. I think they're all below that.
Well, I mean, I
have some with that limit, but
I think it was his company card too.
It was.
Okay, so that makes more sense. But yeah, whoa.
Yeah.
I don't need 30 grand worth of problems. That's why I don't have a card with that limit.
Well, you're not in sales either. I mean, you kind of are, but not really.
Yeah, I'm more of I'm like a tag along.
So is that pre-sales then, or is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
When a salesperson gets hard questions, they call on us.
Okay.
And if I can't answer, we call on Allison.
Got it.
And if I don't know, then we just lie. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we just make it up.
I long ago, Allison and I's former boss, way back. Like, we're not boss. I'm talking about Andy.
Oh.
I told him, I was like, look, man, I think every sales call should always be two people, should always be a technical, and always have a salesman. And he was pretty good about it, so nothing with him. But I guess what I've seen in other areas in the world, man, some of those SOWs get bad. Yeah. It's like, come on, save me. Don't put me in this mess. But
yeah.
My favorite was after Andy was no longer my boss. The person who took that role had no business reading statements of work or even really having the job they had, to be quite honest.
I was waiting to see where this was going to go and roll with. And I'm sitting there going, all right, Justin, I'm so sorry.
I'm
so sorry.
And see, I'm saying they, so no one knows gender. They also would come to like the statement of work review meetings, and they finally invited me, and we would sit there and they would be like, well, the address looks wrong.
Oh, God. I'm already annoyed.
Great.
I'm already annoyed.
Great. And they're like, and, you know, the spacing here, I'm like, this is the value that you're providing in this call.
Jake, I've told Allison several times, like, that's not the feedback I wanted. I want you to look at the technical piece. That's what I want you to look at.
Yeah.
I had to do an SOW review, not here. While I was working at my previous company, I was helping another company that was a consultant reviewing SOWs. That was it. I just reviewed SOWs, did tech spec, and I was like, hey, your fonting and your images are wrong. And they went, we want technical things. And I said, no, you've got the wrong customer's logo on your SOW and the wrong customer name. And they went, I've already sent it. And I was like, I guess you're going to lose that customer. And they did. So, like, oh, you probably should have called that one.
I have to jump for another call. Do you want me to leave this so you guys can get going, or do you want to wrap up?
Good either way.
I've got at least 10 more minutes before I need to prep for a meeting.
We can go ahead and wrap then, Allison, if you're cool.
Yeah, that was fine with me.
Hey, I don't know if this is what you wanted at all, Justin. Sorry.
No, this is how it goes. We got ServiceNow in. We got random topics about movies and TV shows.
And your spirit animal.
Hey, man, I'm looking out for you, buddy. That's all.
We need something to draw people in. Yeah. We need a controversy to get us our name out there. Yeah.
Or band.
And we got your spirit animal, which is a Peregrine Falcon. And yeah, this is good. It's Friday, so you're going off to the weekend, and Jake's seeing Barbie, and Allison's getting drunk.
On the beach. On the beach.
On the beach.
Man, I'm going to write that country song right now.
Remember our new reality show, too.
Oh, yes. Cooking in Allison's Kitchen.
Cooking
Well, Brando's kitchen, but
I
yeah.
want that to be an actual name of a show.
Oh,
C-A-K. C-I-A-K. Yeah.
not like that.
I'm not even going to say it. Somehow I'm going to say the wrong word if I do that.
Don't.
So, yeah.
Well, it was very nice to meet you, Jake.
Yeah.
Thank you for honoring us by coming on.
Likewise.
Hopefully, Allison.
You can come back.
Yeah, come back soon.
Hit me up. I'm typically around. So happy to be here. Thanks. Appreciate it. Nice meeting you too, Justin.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Tell Logan I said hi.
I will. Come here, bud.
There's the dogs.
Come here. Come here.
They knew he was getting ready to leave.
Get in here, boy.
That's Archie.
Aw.
You little turd.
All right, guys. Take care.
All right.
Have a good weekend.
See ya.
All right.
Bye.
See ya.